You may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not unmute and talk with them. Please keep in mind that I will not give any feedback, so it is important that the debaters are to listen carefully to each other so that you can give proper feedbacks. Now, before we begin, affirmative team, what is your team number?
103.
103, okay. Are any affirmative team member missing right now?
No.
Okay. And negative team, what is your team number?
104.
All right. Are any negative team member missing?
No.
Okay. Okay. All right. So today's motion is should a student should learn to play a music instrument. So I will give you all 15 minutes to prepare and the timer will start now. Once the timer is out, I will let everybody know here again. Okay, time is up. Speaker number one for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
C.
C. Okay. All right. Thank you. Please unmute your mic and show your camera if possible, and begin your speech. You will have 4 minutes for a speech.
Okay, start now.
Yep, you can start anytime.
Good morning to honorable judges, ladies and gentlemen. Our debate topic today is students should learn to play a musical instrument. My name is J3U2 and I'm the first speaker of the Affirmative Team, and I'll give the definition, team case, first and the second point. Our team second speaker will talk about the third point, while our team third speaker will do all the rebuttals and summarize our point again. So the definition of musical instrument is it is a device created or adapted to make musical sounds. In principle, any object that produces sound can be considered a musical instrument. For example, piano, guitar, violin, and vocal cord. So what is music refers to? Music is an art of sound in time that expresses idea and emotion in significant forms through the element of rhythm, melody, harmony, and color. So for today's topic, our team only need to prove that learning to play musical instrument will beneficial to the students. My first point is the skill of playing musical instrument can be a very useful tool in many parts. Firstly, students are able to apply for school place in a more easy way if they know how to play a musical instrument. So they just need to show their certificate as evidence. Secondly, it offers a chance for everyone to play their favorite song through musical instrument. People can play the song no matter the gender or age, especially for the one who faced with the disease or physical disorder. For example, the famous musician Beethoven can also create a lot of songs although he was totally deaf by the time he was 44 or 45 years old. Besides, playing an instrument can also build students' confidence. This helps students get more comfortable with self-expressions. As students begin to master their instrument, they will probably end up playing to a few audience, starting with the music teachers or parents and branching out to groups of other pupils and concert audience. Playing in public can help students feel confident in presenting their work in a non-academic context. At the same time, it can also improve students' social skills because students are confident to express themselves. My second point is students are able to expose the culture and history by learning to play musical instruments. Music theory has a deep history and can be taught as a part of musical instruction. Music is most often a reflection of the culture and era it was composed in. Exposing students to multiple types of musical genres such as classical, contemporary, rock, and others will allow them to have a glimpse into the past. Understanding the origin of music can give students a deeper understanding of what they are playing, and they may become more attached to it. This is the reason why many clubs related to music are set up, such as Song Composing Club, 24 Festive, Drums, and others. The power of modern musical culture in Korea now is very strong, and it has attracted a lot of people around the world. These situations make people want to know more about Korea, and this is how playing music instruments is able to expose the culture and history of a country. So, our team strongly agree with today's debate topic, which is students should learn to play a music instrument. Thank you.
All right. Thank you really much. Now, for the next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. So the timer for of the 60 seconds will start now, and then I'll call you up. Okay, time is up. Speaker one for the negative. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
C.
C. Okay. All right. Thank you. Please unmute yourself and turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you are ready.
Good morning to the chairman, ladies and gentlemen, and to my worthy opponents. I am Wenshen, the first speaker of the opposition team, and my speaker ID is 104C. Today's topic of the debate is students should learn how to play a musical instrument. We agree with the definition given by the affirmative team that a musical instrument is a device that produces musical sound. But I would like to add on that our side defines the topic as all students should learn how to play a musical instrument. All students. Therefore, we, the negative team, believe that this statement is false. Not all students should learn how to play a musical instrument if they don't want to, because every student should be given the freedom to choose. Okay, and today we are going to tell you why. As the first speaker, I will be talking about how learning a musical instrument needs huge amounts of investment, including time, money, and effort. Our second speaker is Jacqueline, and her speaker ID is 104B. She will be talking about why learning how to play a musical instrument doesn't highly benefit students' future and the mental impacts that might follow if students are forced to do so. Our third speaker is Teresa, and her speaker ID is 104A. She will be rebutting and summing up our team's case. Now for my rebuttal. Okay, the first speaker of the affirmative team has tried to tell you that disabled people can play musical instruments, but it is not proven that all disabled people can play musical instruments, and we're talking about every student here, okay? And she also said that we could express ourselves by learning a musical instrument, and we can express ourselves by playing musical instruments. But we can also express ourselves in a different way by art, or the most simplest way, communication. Okay. Now, I'll be discussing about how learning a musical instrument needs huge amounts of investment. Okay, first of all, students would need to invest a lot of money because musical instruments are pricey. Let me give you some examples. According to my research, an average price of a guitar is 500 ringgit, an electric piano is 600 ringgit, and a ukulele is around 200 to 800 ringgit. As for lesson fees, well, the average price of a piano lesson vary from 164 to 246 ringgit per hour. The same goes to guitar lessons. Students not only need to invest their money in learning a musical instrument, they also need to invest their time, energy, and effort into it. It is a total waste of time for students who have no interest but still have to learn a musical instrument, because the student might get frustrated playing an instrument, and when he or she gets frustrated, the student will often give up. In addition, a student may have to try a variety of instruments to actually find an instrument suitable for him or her. Let me give you an example. Okay, the price of two instruments, for example, let's say a guitar and a ukulele. Together, it will cost around 335 to 735 ringgit. And a year of lessons for 2 times a week costs around 5,200 ringgit to, or if you say 1 week a year, then it's 2,600 ringgit, which is 104 lessons for 2 times a week per a year, or one time a week for uh 52, I think. So, and what would happen if the student gets frustrated when he tries out the guitar, and then he tries out a new instrument, for example, ukulele? Then he gets frustrated again, and then he figures out, oh, he should give up. He gave up, and now he just wasted a year trying to learn two instruments that he didn't end up playing. Adding up the price of the both of the instruments and the lessons adds up to 5,535 ringgit or 5,935 ringgit, depending on the price of the two instruments. So it is expensive and also waste of your energy. So, to the chairman and the members of the floor, In conclusion, we, the opposition team, strongly disagree with today's topic that all students should learn how to play a musical instrument. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. For the next speaker, you will once again have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60 seconds will start now. Okay, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative. What is your student ID?
103A.
103A. Okay. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself and, if possible, turn on your camera and begin anytime when you're ready.
Okay. So I'll start my speech in 3, 2, 1. A very good morning to the honorable judges, member of the esteemed audience, and my worthy opponents. Our motion today is students should learn to play a musical instrument. My name is Tiayi and my speaker ID is 103A. I'm the second speaker of Team Affirmative. But before I come to my own arguments, let us first have a look at what first speaker has said. He said about learning musical instruments, spend a lot of time, money, and effort on it. So we as a team affirmative want to say that students can learn this kind of musical instrument in school. Not everyone must buy the musical instrument, but they can learn in school. In school, the musical instrument, all of them is share one, and the student no need to pay any money on it. And so I'll continue it with my own argument. Why in this, our team third argument is that learning musical instrument can help us in brain development. In this era of globalization, things that we really emphasize on kids and our brain development. Why I would like to say that? Because you can see when the mother go to buy some milk powder, they always buy the milk powder which helps in brain development for the kids. The purpose is that they don't want their kids learn slower than others. So this factors that learning musical instrument is very important, especially in groups of students. So I'm gonna talk about why and how musical instrument helps our brain development. We can see this argument from three perspectives. First, it helps us improve our body and brain coordination. And second, improve reading and comprehension skills. And last, improve our math skills. First, when we are playing a musical instrument, it requires our brain to work at one speed while we are reading on the sheet music. Our brain has to convert the information that we saw into the physical motion. So by our hand or others, so those who play musical instruments have better hand-eye coordination, even the brain has a better response capability. Second, it helps us improve our reading and comprehension skills. Learning and playing music requires constant reading and understanding. Learners have to identify a note on the page and recognize which note to play on their instruments and the other skills on playing musical instruments. They also have to identify the rhythm of the note, and the note should be played short and crisp or smooth and connected to the next note. Learning to read and comprehend music can even help in reading and understanding literature in school classes for students. Last but not least, learning a musical instrument can help us in our improve our math skills. Playing an instrument may seem like a creative act, but there are many parallels to math. Music and math are highly intertwined. By understanding beat, rhythm, and scales, students can learn how to divide, create fractions, and recognize patterns. It seems that music wires a child's brains to help him or her better understand other areas of math. So, the opponent may say that we have other skills can help in brain development, but the things that I want to say that other skills may not have a better efficient may not have a better efficient on brain development compared to learning a musical instrument. In short, musical instrument can help us develop our brain. So I strongly agree that today motion students should learn a musical instrument should stand. That's all from me. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. And the timer for that 60 seconds will start now. Okay, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
104B.
Sorry, can you repeat again?
104B.
All right, okay. Thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Jacqueline, the second speaker of the negative team, speaker ID being 104B, and I'd like to restate that we disagree with today's topic. Students should learn how to play a musical instrument. First of all, let me rebut the second affirmative team speaker's points. First of all, the second affirmative team speaker has rebutted that instruments has rebutted my first speaker's points that instruments are lended from schools. But even if the schools were to buy instruments to lend to students, it would still be the investment of, it would still be using the donations of the parents, would still be an investment by the parents. And if every single student were to lend an instrument from the school, it would still have a huge cost impact to both the school and even parents. And the second speaker of the affirmative team also said that um, learning a musical instruments uh, has lots of benefits such as math, reading and comprehension skills, and even body and brain skills. But I would like to say that if you force a child into learning all of these things, rather than learning all of these skills, they might actually abandon this interest of theirs, which actually bring negative impacts. And also, if you would like to say that playing musical instruments would bring so many benefits, how about thinking of playing video games? Playing video games also helps with reading and comprehension skills, and it also helps with eye and hand coordination when you play with a remote. If you don't want to think about such an addicting type of interest, you can also think about chess. Chess is also good with math skills and all of those things. So I'll be moving on to my uh, speech now. Our first speaker has stated that learning musical instruments means that putting huge investments that may not be worth its results. Today I'll be talking about the second and third points of our team. My first point is that making students learn how to play musical instruments doesn't highly benefit their future. We've talked about the process of learning, but what about the results? If students become musicians, starting musicians will have very low pay and face fierce competition in the industry, since there can't be 200 Beyoncés, can there? A student by HMUK revealed that A study by HMUK revealed that 70% of musicians struggled with panic attacks, anxiety, and depression. When everyone knows how to play an instrument, the competition and pressure of expectations would eventually create a flood of depressed musicians. For students who are forced, you might think that they'll get many benefits from learning a musical instrument, but why not let them learn what they like playing football, dancing, doing yoga, or even meditating are known to be beneficial too. By forcing unwilling students into learning instruments, it would suppress their wants and needs, leading to psychological issues and rebellious behavior. Do you still think that it's beneficial to their future? My next point is that the mental impacts if students are unwillingly forced to learn how to play musical instruments. There's no denying the benefits given by the affirmative team. Yet if it's forced, it'll have a negative impact on students. According to our definition, we're talking about forcing all students, I repeat, all students to learn a musical instrument, even if they dislike it. Students have little or no say in what they are told they must do, thus interfering with the development of personal responsibility and self-direction, eventually making students lose confidence and lack the courage to speak out in the future. Schools naturally focus on academic results compared with other activities. Pushing unwanted music classes onto students would just increase that pressure and anxiety that they already have. Surveys have shown that in many cases, musical instruments are left untouched after lessons. This defeats the whole purpose of compulsory lessons. For students who are musically talented, it's just another worrying problem, especially when it's so easy to lose interest after being forced into something. In conclusion, students shouldn't be forced into learning a musical instrument until it ends up problematic or harmful. Rather than standardizing teaching musical instruments, we believe that schools should invest in a range of extracurricular activities, allowing their students to choose from what they enjoy or thrive in. I hope that this leads you to think of how you might feel if you were forced into doing something rather than what you truly want to do. I'll end here for today and thank you for listening.
All right, thank you, speaker. And as for the next speaker, you will once again have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up, and your timer will start now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter?
B.
All right, okay, thank you. All right, please unmute yourself, open your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready.
I'll start my speech at 3, 2, 1. A very good morning to the honorable judges, chairman, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Luan Chi. I'm the third speaker of Affirmative Team, and I will do all the rebuttals. As the first speaker of negative team say that not music is not the only way to express. However, music can be a constructive way to express who you are and what you're feeling, especially in young kids. it can often be difficult for the children to say how they are feeling, primarily because they do not know the name of the feeling and their experience, and instead of showing us by crying. Music is an effective way to everyone to learn about and explore feeling, and then practice how to express and manage them. Sometimes we can find ourselves unable to use the right word to say how we feel. On this occasion, music can be a tool of expression. He also said that learning an instrument can be very expensive. However, government or society can buy and provide musical instruments to schools that are not able to afford it from donation. If the donations are still enough to provide the sufficient instruments, school can set up free musical instrument classes for students to learn singing, as the learning the biological music instrument in our body as we known as the vocal cord, and it is free. There are many free musical instrument lessons available on the internet, which we can search for the video easily. Hence, we don't need to spend any money to buy any instrument or attend any expensive lesson to learn musical instruments. Next, he also said that not everyone wants to learn music or enjoy learning musical instrument. Yes, however, learning musical instrument is the best way to develop our left and right brains. We can start to develop in our brains since we are young, which have better learning capability to learn quickly. Some musicians can also be a professional in other expert field. For example, William Herschel was a composer and organist. He spared time to make a telescope. His telescope was so good, he was able to view the night sky in much more detail than anyone had ever seen it before. And he became the first person to ever observe the planet Uranus. So the next example is a gene that plant needs to grow flower was discovered by Milo Ackerman along with his side rock career, eventually working as a plant researcher in industry. As the second speaker of the negative team said that learning musical instrument can cause negative mental impact. As we know that the human vocal cord is a biological human instrument as mentioned by my first speaker. Music stimulates the oxytocin, which is a hormone related to positive and happy feeling. In a recent study, it found that singing for a half an hour significantly increased oxytocin level, with singer feeling more relaxed and energetic after the session. Music can create alpha wave in our brain, which help us to feel more calm and relaxed. Studies show that playing an instrument helps in lowering the heart rate and blood pressure, which low the stress hormone, thus making us feel more relaxed. While just listening to music also help learning to play an instrument, bring with it a comforting routine of daily practice that help in keeping the stress hormone away. To conclude that, the skill of playing music instrument can be very useful too in many parts. Students are able to explore the culture and history by learning to play musical instrument. Learning musical instrument is the best way to develop our left and right brains. Finally, our team strongly agree that our topic today should stand out. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. For the next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. And the 60 seconds will start now. Okay, time is up. Speaker number 3 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
A.
A. Okay, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready.
Thank you. So I'll start now. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, honorable adjudicators, and my worthy opponents. I'm 104A Carissa, the third speaker of the opposition team. I'll be giving rebuttals and strengthening my team's case. Let me repeat why we, the opposition team, believe that students should not learn to play musical instruments. That is, though there's some benefits of playing a musical instrument. Yet, if it is forced upon students, it might have a negative impact on them. Here's our main clash for two of the teams. We are not against music. We are against all students being forced to learn music. That is where we draw a line. And how beneficial is learning musical instruments to students? The first affirmative speaker has tried to tell you learning musical instruments is you can apply school and college is easier. This is wrong, which I will explain more on my speech later, which use the example of Oyang Nana. And the second point of their team is learning musical instruments is to expose to culture. This is not true. Will you go and learn the traditional musical instruments of Orang Asli? I bet you're not going to do, right? What you usually learn is the Western musical instruments, which is accepted by the world, isn't it? And now, the second speaker of the affirmative team said that learning musical instruments helps in brain development. This is not true, because besides learning musical instruments, there are many other ways like maintain a healthy lifestyle, exercise, or it is not a must to learn musical instruments. And the third speaker always mentioned the benefits of learning musical instruments, but is it the only way? No. So now I will continue with my speech. Our first speaker spoke to you about how learning a musical instrument need a huge amount of investment. According to our market price, a beginner guitar costs 300 ringgit, a basic electric piano costs at least 1,000. Meanwhile, a drum set also costs at least 2,000. Some more. All these prices is just the basic and not the best musical instruments yet. My worthy opponents, so how can those average income of adults afford to buy them for their kids? Let's review again. My second speaker spoke about why learning how to play a musical instrument doesn't highly benefit students' future and the mental impact that follow them if they are forced to do so. If students learn it and don't become musicians, they'll lose all their money, time, and effort that they put in. Even if they become musicians, it's highly likely that they will be facing with many difficulties such as low pay at the start, fierce competitions within the market, and mental health are quite a number too. Last but not least, although there are many advantages related to playing an instrument, there are also some issues related to it. After learning for many years, spending huge expenses, time, efforts, what did you get in the end? Fame? Job? Or extra time? Not at all. Here's an actual example for you, which I can reply to the first speaker of the affirmative team, a China celebrity Ouyang Nana. She was once a famous cellist, which furthered her studies in Berkeley College. Berkeley College, is so famous for music school. However, we only knew her when she started to join the entertainment field by becoming an actress, singer, or even brand ambassador. She is so successful now by making her skills as a backup in the entertainment field. However, she still needs to bow to the reality, which brings her more profit than becoming a musician. So, Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, in conclusion, we strongly urge the members of the floor to stand with us that students should not learn and should not be forced to play a musical instrument. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. For the next speaker, you have 60 seconds before I call you up. Oh wait, it's finished. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 60 seconds of feedback and advice to the other team. And you may divide this time however you would like to. To score well during this session, you must be courteous, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing your motion, as this will not count your mark. Instead, Focus on how your opponent could become a better debater. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback starting now, and I am not allowed to give any feedbacks on my own. Your time starts now. Okay, time is up. It's time for your peer feedback session. Please unmute and speak, and I will stop you after 90 seconds. Negative team, you may go first.
Hi. Okay. I think the first speaker, you're quite good. Like. You have strong points. You're calm, but I think you can add more backups for your points in case you get rebutted, and maybe add more aggression. Maybe you're not the aggressive type. So yeah, overall you're quite good.
Okay, I'll be talking about the second speaker, and I think that I could see your confidence through your gestures, which was really intimidating for me as an uh, think so. I don't know. And I think there was a really good example with parents want their children to be clever, so they buy the milk or powder, and that was a really clever example. But I would say that maybe at least as one of the statistics for your points, because I didn't hear any statistics. I only heard examples, and it didn't give that much backup as a statistic would.
Okay, so I'll be giving feedback to the third speaker. What I can see from the third speaker, he's good at leading examples and he's good at rebuttals too. And I think there's one thing lag is that maybe you didn't mention the main clash, and also maybe you can be more aggressive. Could I use this word? Maybe like you need to be more more yeah, your intonation must be like more what so that people know that you are not easy to defeated like this. So that's all. Thank you.
Let me add on something. I think you guys can be more confident and don't be so nervous. So overall, good job, guys.
Yeah, very happy to have come to debate with you guys.
All right, time's up. Thanks for the feedback. Affirmative team, you may go now. Unmute yourself, turn on the camera, and give your feedbacks.
I think that the main point of each speaker is not very clear. Like, the first speaker and the second speaker talk about the cause and the mental impact, like I cannot see the main point clearly, but overall it's very good because there has many experience on debates, but we are the first time to put a lot of effort in debate. So think
So I would like to say thank you to the negative team, and I think that like they can express themselves, like they can express their point in a very clearly way, and this is what I cannot do. Like sometimes I have to 组织员 and then I will 卡掉, but like like I want to say something but I cannot say it out in a very clearly in a very fluent way. So.
Okay, it's my turn. And overall, it's good. But the things that I want to say that I really want to learn the first speaker. He seems like very, very happy and doing something. And he also can express his feeling well. And the second speaker, Jacqueline, yeah, she sounds is very sweet, but a little bit soft. So you may need to, your sound may have a change. So last is Carissa. Carissa, wow, everything is good. And she gives out a good example on it, that Oyang Nana something. And she also give out the Orang Asli example that I think is very fun. Okay, that's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you both teams for giving feedbacks to each other. I suppose it's time to announce the winning team then. I wish I have drum rolls to make this more intense, but there's none. So this round, the winner goes to. All right, the winner goes to the negative team. I will not tell you the decision, and I will not identify the best speaker yet. But yes. So now, please, everybody, turn on your webcams and congratulate each other. Give them a high five and maybe shake hands and
Congratulations.
yeah.
Enjoy the debate with you guys. Yes.
So fun.
Yeah. Thank you, Chairman, too.
Thank
You're
you
welcome.
so much.
Thank you.
All right. If you guys are done with it, you guys can. Yeah, you guys are free to leave anytime.
Thank you.
Unless.
See ya.
Bye.
Oh wait. Yeah, about that. All right. All right. Thanks.
Oh yeah, I want to have a picture together.
Yeah, sure. I already took one, but all right.
Okay. Never mind, I will do it. Okay. And 3, 2, 1. Okay, good.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Bye.
you.
thank you, bye.
Hello. Can everybody hear me clearly?
Yes.
Yes. Welcome to the team's debate event for Jitsin Independent High School. Participants, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or device you find helpful, and each of us will speak for up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker while the speaker is speaking, and I will announce in the chat when you have 1 minute left and when you are out of time, which is 3 minutes and 4 minutes. And if that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must unmute yourself and stop. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. And be respectful and listen carefully to your opponent. Remember, after the debate, you will be the ones that give each other feedbacks on how to become a better debater. So it is important to listen carefully. And audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the team. Now, before we begin, affirmative team, what is your team number?
107.
107.
This is a negative. Sorry, this is a negative team. I spoke the wrong time.
Okay,
Negative
affirmative
107.
team?
105.
105. Are there any affirmative team member missing?
No.
All right. And negative team will be 107, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are there any member missing? Negative team, are there any member missing?
No.
No. Okay. So today's motion is social media should be censored. You will have 15 minutes to prepare, starting now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 1 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
A.
A. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin.
Good morning to the teachers, judges, and my beloved opponents. I am the first speaker from Affirmative Team. Without further ado, let's begin our topic. Social media should be censored. Media has become a powerful source of knowledge and a great breakthrough in human history. Who can regret that the media is a daily need in our lives? Media has the ability to control and adjust to all levels of knowledge in people. Media helps us to escape from our daily lives and our problems in times of stress. True media has proved to be beneficial by educating, entertaining, and informing us. It has also have its downfall to cause many bad influence to the young audience. Media has influenced us to conduct bad behavior, breed violence among teens and fear to the public, thus causing a lot of negative conflicts among ourselves. Television, music, internet, and more are just some of the media exposure that needs to be censored and controlled. Media needs to be restricted so that it doesn't expose certain content to the wrong audience. Therefore, media should be censored so that we are able to protect our children from certain media exposure. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. For the next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up, and your 60 seconds starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 1 for the negative. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
C.
C. All right. Thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready. Speaker number 1 for the negative. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you are ready.
I'll maybe don't turn on the camera because it will very lag.
Understood. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And now I will present my speech now. Good morning to the honorable adjudicators, teamkeeper, and my worthy opponents. I'm the first speaker of the negative team and strongly disagree with today's motion, which is social media should be censored. As the first speaker, I will present my speech about the definition and my viewpoint. Our second and third speakers will further elaborate upon our team's opinions and position with with relevant examples. They will rebut against the contrary of points of views. We define the topic as take down anything that is offensive from the internet. By this, our team doesn't mean that we take off anything, but we choose things to be get down from social media and our site. Believe that users of social media have the ability to choose what is right and wrong. As we are living in an advanced technology age, social media is necessity on our daily life activities. At this fast pace of information age, the social media will serve the need of speed for better exchange of informations in our society. Improve better communication. We can even snapshot the contents of our pictures, writing, text, voices in real time. Communication, especially sending messages in many forms through social media to our family members and friends in every corner around the world. We can explain our social, economic, financial, political views as communication information in various contracts is aspects. And now I will debut the point of affirmative theme that first speaker said just now. Social media cause fear over exposure based on individual of how best use of social media. Secondly, we can easily obtain the cor- con, um, con, correct, factful information from right um, from right authors in social media. And that is my opinion, and thank you.
Okay, thank you really much. As for the next speaker, you will once again have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60 seconds will start now. Time is up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter, A, B, or C?
Hey,
A. All right. Thank you. Please unmute yourself and turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you are ready.
good morning to the judges and my opponents. I'm the second speaker from the affirmative team. I do agree today's topic, which is social media should be censored. Many younger kids get their influence from television programs such as violent cartoons, music videos, and movies. The content and language used in these media categories can cause a child or teen to use the same kind of language against another teen, an elder, and even their parent. This can result in children using foul language against their own parent. In order to get more click rate and benefits, many adult websites advocate violent sexual abuse of women. Many women suffer from the hell made by the internet because the internet makes them sold into slavery through the international sex trade. The censorship of internet can guard people from the disturbing email spam. For many net citizens, junk email is a troublesome problem. Some junk emails may have malware, and the malware will be activated when net citizens open the email. Some junk emails may be punishing scams that attempts to steal net citizens' identity and threatens the economic safety and privacy. Some junk emails may be fraudulent scams or offensive material. Besides, there are a lot of annoying, unsolicited advertisements. Spam filter can block junk emails for net citizens and make their internet life more safe and simple. Thank you.
Okay, thank you really much. For the next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60 seconds starts now. Okay, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative. What is your student ID letter, A, B, or C?
B.
B. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin when you're ready.
Yes. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and my opponents. I'm the second speaker of the negative team, and I strongly agree with today's motion, which is social media should not be censored. So, first of all, for many years, social media platforms have rarely deleted hate speech. They usually accept all kinds of racist, homophobic, and anti-Semitic posts and comments. However, recent debates surrounding hate speech, freedom of speech at the political world sweeping the United States have intensified, and social media has also been pushed to the forefront. Two, the capital will censor things that is not right and will be offensive for the country. For example, social activism, there are people who stand up for things that are not fair. For example, what is happening in Thailand and the incident in Myanmar, many people who bravely stand up for the victims of capital will be censored by capital to cover up the facts. And just now, my fellow debate says that students student watching YouTube, like YouTube, Facebook, will be learn badly, but I want to say that a version exclusively for kids is YouTube has a version exclusively for kids. Thank you.
Okay, thank you really much. For the next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your time starts now. Okay, time is up. Speaker number three for the affirmative. What is your student IT letter?
C.
All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready. You can start when you're ready.
Can I speak now?
Yes, you can start now. Speaker number three, please start.
Okay, yes, no. Good morning to the teacher, judges, and my beloved opponents. I'm the last speaker from the Affirmative Team. I do agree today's topic, which is social media should be censored. The censorship of internet can protect people economic interests. Some interest information can threaten people economic interests. Internet banking frauds happen frequently. The censorship of internet can filter a great deal of fraudulent information in the internet and enhance the supervision and control of internet banking. The censorship of internet can help to protect social stability and national safety. Since the internet censorship can help to curb the large number illegal activity and internet crime, is good to stability of society. Some illegal organization of people may release bad information which will disturb the national economy and polity. The terrorists and extremists may release false information to distort facts, confuse the public people mind, and create fear of panics through internet. This kind of information will sabotage the national safety and must be deleted or filtered to avoid the misunderstanding of the public. The censorship of internet can protect life privacy of people. The inappropriate information has threatened the life privacy of Australian people, as the incident that Google Street View car collect personal data by Wi-Fi system illegally was complained. The Australian Federal Police has involved in investigation. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60 seconds starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker 3 for the negative. What is your student ID letter, A, B, or C?
My student ID is A.
Okay.
And okay.
Thank you.
So
Please, please begin anytime when you're ready.
So I'm audible, right? So I'll be starting my speech in 3, 2, 1. So I'm the third speaker of the negative team. A good day to the honorable adjudicators, the timekeeper, and also my worthy opponents. I'm the third speaker of the affirmative team, and our team strongly disagrees with today's motion, which is social media should be censored. Then I will affirmative team, and they have stated to us about they want to take down the information which will have a bad influence to the society. But if you take like what my second speaker has said, she said that people, the capital of the country will take down the information that is offensive for the country. Then if you say that social activism is an act, no, what do you mean by things that can be have offensive and will be bad for the society? Do you mean that people having the right to revoke about their speech rights is also considered as a type of social bad influence to the society? And another thing is that my second speaker also have stated that if there's also people having the influence. No, my team's second speaker has stated that there's people telling and talking about, like, my second speaker has stated that there is people giving out the information, and also there's also a more friendly version of YouTube and other things. But you can't but the negative team has also tell us about some bad influence about the the what is the age limit that you all want the kids to use the internet. Is it 13 years old or maybe more? And I'll be giving out my I'll be summing up my team's case. My first speaker has said something about expand the connection and also having understanding within the world, and also development communication skills and technical skills. My second speaker and also stated something about a friendly version and also a more carefree version of the social media sites, for example YouTube and also other sites. And people use other types of there is ways for us to like tell the servers and also the users and also the the authorities by using things like reporting about the issues which they think they are wrong. So I think that it is that the authorities are trying to change the issue, but it's also just on the way. And with this, I rest my case. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. Before I announce the winner, each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedbacks and advice to the other team. You may divide this time however you would like to, and to score well in this session, you must be cautious, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing your motion. Instead, focus on how your opponents could be better debaters. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback, and I am not allowed to give any feedback on my own. The 90 seconds preparation will start now.
Yes, what's the problem? I'm in already. I was in here all the time. Yeah.
One team has no teamwork. Another team has teamwork, but they are agreeing on what everything. They are negative team, but they are going the affirmative way.
Oh yeah, I'm
All right. Okay, it's time to give you a feedback speech. Before I announce the winner, of course, it's time to give your feedback speech. During this The negative team can start first and provide us with your feedback speech. Please unmute yourself and start anytime when you're ready. You have 90 seconds to give the feedback speech.
I'm the first speaker from the affirmative team, and this is my comment for the opponent team.
Excuse me, it starts from negative team. So let the negative starts first. Yeah. Negative team. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm the third speaker from the negative team, and our team thinks that this is a good debate. All the points and everything is good, but I think that it's kind of short. Like eventually everything is there, but you need to dig a little more deeper and like look on to more information about it. And yeah, that's all, because I don't know how to give comment already.
Anyone else from the negative team would like to provide any feedback?
Yes. And I want to say something that just now I said that I'm the affirmative team. So sorry, sorry.
Anyone else in the negative team would like to provide any feedbacks?
I'm the first speaker of negative team. I think we should better prepare to be more organize ourselves either in affirmative and negative team, because I think they still have many points not able to present by both sides. After all, it's a good and friendly debate. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. Now, affirmative team, you may provide the negative team with your feedbacks now. Please unmute yourself and start.
Sorry, I just misheard you.
It's okay.
I'm the first speaker from the affirmative team, and then this is my comment for the opponent's team. You guys should be more confident when you are speaking. Overall, this is a nice debate competition. Thank you for your participation. Good luck.
Anyone else from the affirmative team would like to provide any feedbacks? All right, if it's silence. Yep, go on. You can.
I'm last speaker, and you are the best.
Okay, anyone else? All right, okay. I suppose there is no more feedbacks given. So I suppose it's time to announce the winning team. The winning team here will be the negative team. Okay, I am not allowed to give any reasons, but thank you so much for participating. You may leave the call and prepare for your next debate. Thank you so much. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. So I would repeat again, the winning team will be the negative team. Congratulations. And with that, we can, right. Perhaps you can turn on your camera and congratulate each other, give them a high five, and prepare for your next debate then.
Thank you. It was a nice debate. Bye.
All right. Bye.
What the fuck, Supang?
No vulgarities, man. Hello. Can everybody hear me loud and clear?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Welcome to Jitsin English debate competition. Debaters, after I read the motion, you will have 15 minutes to prepare. You may use any books or device you find helpful. Each of you will speak for up to 4 minutes. You may never interrupt the speaker. I will put a reminder in the chat when you have 1 minute left and remind you again when you are out of time. If that happens, you may finish your sentence, but then you must mute yourself. You will have 60 seconds between speakers to work with your team. Be respectful and listen carefully to your opponents. Because remember, after the debate, you will give them feedback on how to become a better debater. And audience, you may not leave if a student is speaking, and you may not talk with the teams. Now, before I begin, affirmative team, what is your team number? Affirmative team?
205.
205, okay. Are there any affirmative team member missing? Are there any affirmative team member missing?
Yes.
Are they coming? Can I know who is missing? A, B, or C?
205B.
Only one?
Yeah.
Okay. Negative team, what is your team number?
204.
204. Okay. Are there any negative team member missing?
Nope.
Nope. Okay. So today's motion is cooking at home. Cooking at home is better than dining out. I will put the motion in the chat. You will have 15 minutes to prepare for this topic. The timer starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 1 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter? A, B, or C?
A.
A. Okay, thank you. Please unmute yourself and, if possible, turn on your camera and begin anytime when you're ready.
Good morning to the Honorable Adjudicator, Chairperson, my lovely opponents, ladies and gentlemen. I'm 205A from the government team. We strongly agree with today's topic, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. Today, I will be talking about food prepared at home is healthier. My team's second speaker will give out the points, which is cooking and at home doesn't have to be complicated and can take less time than eating. She will also do the rebuttals and the conclusion later. Food prepared at home is healthier. We eat fewer calories when we cook at home. And when restaurants, dishes, and home cooked meals are compared on a per calorie basis, home cooked meals are healthier. When people cook most of their meals at home, they consume fewer carbohydrates, less sugar, and less fat than those who cook less or not at all, even if they are not trying to lose weight. They also have more fiber, calcium, and iron compared to food that's prepared away from home. Increased cooking has also been linked to more consumption of fruits, veggies, and whole grains. The study also showed that those who ate more frequently at home also ate fewer calories when they did choose to eat out. The shift in eating away from home therefore also means a shift in the consumption of more unhealthy foods. Preparing food at home could help with chronic disease prevention such as heart disease, diabetes, strokes, and even cancers. Similarly, another study found that although people were eating more food out and fewer people are cooking at home, home food supply has remained the top source of energy. This could be for several reasons, one of which could be that more people are relying upon ready-to-eat foods that require no preparation. These foods, though they are consumed at home, don't count as home cooked. Food in this category can range from individual fruits like apples and bananas, to chips and snacks, to microwavable meals from the freezer section of your grocery store. The food prepared away from home but consumed at home has been associated with increased calorie intake, decreased nutritional quality, and weight gain like their restaurant counterparts. It seems like cooking at home is an easy choice, be healthier and save money. But this might not even be enough incentive. Even during recession, people continue their precrisis diet at restaurants and fast food chains. Despite rising costs and decreased employment, dining out continue to be a stable. People who cook at home more often rather than eating out tend to have healthier overall diets without higher food expenses. Lack of time often prevents people from preparing their own nutritious meals. People with larger households and more children will more likely to cook at home. I'll end my speech. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. The next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call up the next speaker. Your timer for 60 seconds will start now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 1 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
That is C.
C. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself and turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready.
Okay. So I'll start in 3, 2, and 1. A very good morning to the honorable adjudicator, members of the floor, and also my worthy side affirmative today. I am the first speaker from side negative, and as side negative, we strongly oppose to today's motion, and we believe that cooking at home is not necessarily better than dining out, ladies and gentlemen. So into our team's case, we acknowledge that eating at home is good. It brings you a lot of benefit, but we are not against cooking or eating at home. Side affirmative is proposing a fallacy, telling us that cooking at home is always better, is always a better option, but we do not believe that is the case. That is why in today's debate, we will need to prove this one thing. We need to prove that dining out can be as good as cooking at home. Now, ladies and gentlemen, before I start with my points, I would like to rebut a few things brought up by the first speaker of side affirmative today. She said that eating at home can be healthier as you will have decreased levels of carbohydrates, fats, and stuff like that. But ladies and gentlemen, eating at home is not necessarily healthier. What if you decided to cook unhealthy stuff every day with high amount of calories, fat, or carbohydrates at home? So what they propose is actually not true. And they gave us a lot of data, but they failed to acknowledge that the fact that there are a lot of healthy and cheap food options outside. Like for example, economical rice, like what we usually eat, are cheap and healthy at the same time. There are also new concept restaurants right now that are being established that promotes healthier food and a healthier lifestyle. Like for example, poke bowl that we can see is everywhere. Now, ladies and gentlemen, into our first substantive, which is that dining out can be as good as cooking at home because it is convenient. So, ladies and gentlemen, please do acknowledge that not everyone has the ability to cook at home. Some people work long hours, like some people study for long hours, like for example, a law student or a medical student. And according to the Department of Statistics of Malaysia, as of February 2020, we have a population of 15.34 million working labor in Malaysia. And these people, after working, do you think that they will still have the energy to prepare all the ingredients, cook, and wash up everything after that? Of course, no, ladies and gentlemen. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you are especially or suddenly craving for a particular food, it is hard for us to cook or make that particular culinary or that particular cuisine at home. While compared to eating out, whenever you are craving for any particular food, there's anything you can possibly wish for outside. It is simply more convenient. You do not need to learn how to cook that particular ingredient by yourself. Restaurants or hawkers or whatever will always have that particular ingredients that you need, that you want to eat, and you don't need to pre-order for it. And ladies and gentlemen, when you are on a date, you really wanted a romantic or an intimate atmosphere, your first choice will always be a restaurant. These atmosphere are simply harder for us to recreate at home. Eating out provides you with options that you can choose for different occasions, whether you want to eat on a hawker center or whether you want to eat or in a restaurant for a more romantic atmosphere. And when eating out as a large group, it is also always a better option when compared to cooking at home, as you do not need to prepare all the large sum of food and ingredients and drinks, and there's no cleaning needed after all. So, ladies and gentlemen, we as side negative, we propose, we strongly believe that cooking at home can be as good as dining out, and that is why we are proud to oppose. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. Next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60-second timer starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 2 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter, A, B, or C?
B.
B. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin anytime when you're ready.
Okay. A very good morning to the honorable educators, chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow opponents. I'm 205B, the second speaker of the Affirmative Team. And in today's topic, I strongly agree with today's topic, which is cooking at home is better than cooking outside. And first of all, I would like to give out my rebuttals to the first opponent speaker. You rebut my first speaker points, which is eating healthy. We can cook fats at home, means that in our food we can add a lot of fats or anything that is unhealthy. But if we look at the bright side, we can cook many good things at home. We don't have to cook unhealthy stuffs. And also, the things you mentioned that cooking outsiders cook is the same as cooking inside. Actually, it's not the same because you don't know what their ingredients they're putting in. Other restaurants, you can enter into the restaurants because they only serve food, not giving you permission to go into the kitchen. Because in their food may taste good, but we don't know what contains inside. So it's better that we cook at home. Come to my first point. My first point, outside food is typically high in chemical activities, hormones, sugar, salt, and unhealthy fat, as my first speaker said. It contains monosodium glutamate, which it will affect our brain and outlook, and you will feel tired because monosodium glutamate, it makes our body tired and bloated and depressed and stress and anxiety. It makes so much worse than eating outside. Up to my second point, restaurants often serve more food than you should eat, which means when you order a food that is the same price but you order less amount, it will also be a waste. It will also be a waste, and if you order lesser portion, it will also cost money. So eating at home is actually better than eating outside. And the first speaker also said about they're too busy to cook. Okay, there are plenty of ways to speed up, not just busy to cook. There's plenty of ways to speed up, which is you can loading a slow cooker with meat and vegetables in the morning allows you come home to piping your hot meal at night, and you can add much protein, not monosodium light, and you don't have to put unhealthy stuff into it. You can put salad, soup, sandwiches, burritos, pasta dishes, which is healthier than outsiders. And this is my end of my speech. And I strongly agree that with today's topic, cooking is better than outside cooking. Thank you.
All right, thank you really much. Next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60 seconds timer starts now. Time is up. Speaker number 2 for the negative. What is your student ID letter, A, B, or C?
A.
A. All right, thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera if possible, and begin when you're ready.
Okay, I'm going to begin in 3, 2, and 1. So thank you and a very good morning to the educator and members of the floor and of course my lovely opponents. So my name is Siddharthan and I'm the second speaker of the negative team. So as the second speaker of the negative team, I'll be giving out some rebuttals and also giving out my team's substantive. So now the affirmative team has stated that people don't have to cook unhealthy at home. They can choose to eat healthier food. So the same thing applies to dining out also. People can choose to eat healthier when they're eating out. So this proves that eating out and cooking and eating at home is equally as good. So now let me move on to my team's substantive. I'm going to break down my point in an economic point of view and on how eating out is helping the economy. So now, according to thecoach.com, with approximately 11 million jobs and over 4% of the GDP attributable to the restaurant industry in the United States, one could make a very well-founded argument that as restaurant goes, so goes the economy. It's not just the direct loss of employment directly related to the shuttering of our favorite restaurants. It's the delivery people and the transportation companies that dispatch to the restaurants, the farmers, brewers, distillers that create and grow and cultivate the goods sold to the restaurants, and the technology platforms that provide social media, sales systems, and reservation methods for the restaurant. So from here, we can clearly see that in the that the restaurant industry is playing a major role in a country's economy. In the US, it contributes to 4% of the GDP. And according to DOSM, Department of Statistics of Malaysia, they have said that the contribution of food and beverages industry in the Malaysia has been increasing from 2015 by the rate of 11.7% per annum. Food services was the largest contributor of gross output value with the amount of 67.1 billion ringgit Malaysia in 2017 and has been growing till now. So from here we can see that how the restaurant industry is promoting the economy, is helping the economy, and also promoting job employment. And from here, if we can see that, let's take this pandemic as an example. According to this Coach.com, the U.S. employment rate is at 40.7%. Since the largest plummet since the Great Depression, with the most job losses occurring in the leisure and hospitality sector. To be exact, more than 8 million food and beverage employees have been laid off since the start of the pandemic. So in addition to massive layoff, the National Restaurant Association predicts that the restaurant industry could lose up to $240 billion by the end of 2020, as 4 in 10 restaurants are closed nationwide and sales have plummeted or halted altogether. So from here we can see that during a pandemic or an economic crisis situation, dining out, we can actually help this. We can actually help these businesses, these restaurant industries, these people to get their jobs back, which is a really major issue. So from here we can see that eating out and cooking at home is equally as good because it contributes to the economy, it is convenient, and at the same time. So with that being said, I'd like to end my speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Next speaker, you will have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your 60-second timer will start now. Time is up. Speaker number 3 for the affirmative. What is your student ID letter?
205B.
All right, speak. Okay, thank you. You may begin your speech now.
Okay. Very good morning to the honorable educators, chairperson, ladies and gentlemen, and my fellow opponents. It's me again. I'm 205B, the third speaker of the affirmative team. And once again, I strongly agree with today's topic, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. And the second speaker did mention that in 2020, in a pandemic like this, could help others to get job. Well, they could get a job, but what if they try to make a food taste better? If they try to make the food taste better, won't they add some monosodium glutamate? Because they want to make food better, because they want to make us go outside and eat unhealthy foods. But if we cook at home, we know what we put ingredients in, and we put healthy ingredients, not other outside ingredients, although it helps the job, but our health is more important. And it could cause headache, sweating, chest pain, and a lot of weakness that we cannot help ourselves to get rid of it, because it's a sickness that we can't do anything. Okay, round out to my first speaker's point about health. Health is really important to us. And without monosodium glutamate, our body will not be so dry. It will be more healthier than others who always like to eat outside. And about cook simple, the first speaker mentioned that it's too busy, and we could cook simple at home. Like, for example, we can cook some rice, some vegetables. We don't have to cook some fats at home. Like when you say pasta is fat, but it's better that we cook inside our house, that we know what we put in. It's healthy food, not unhealthy. And about the second speaker, said outside food is typically high in chemicals. Yes, outside food is really high chemicals. And at home, you don't have to worry because you're the one that cooks and you know what you put in. So you don't have to worry about sickness that can get into you. And the second point is save time. And about save time, you can spend more time with your family. Then because of outsiders, there's a lot of people in the restaurant. And if you are just with your family at home, it could help your family to be together. And about ordering too much food. Yes, if you order too much food and it's wasted, wouldn't it, if you cook at home, would be better than outside food? If you cook outside, you have more over, which is if you order lesser portion, you have to pay the same amount price. Isn't it the same? If you cook at home is better? In my conclusion, I'm proud to be said that I strongly agree with today's topic, which is cooking is better than eating outside. And this is all my points and my rebuttals. Thank you.
Thank you really much. Next speaker, you have 60 seconds to prepare before I call you up. Your timer starts now. All right, time is up. Speaker number 3 for the negative. What is your student ID letter?
B.
All right. Thank you. Please unmute yourself, turn on your camera, and you can start anytime when you're ready.
Okay. Before I start, I would like to say that because I might lag out, so if that happens, I'm sorry. Okay, now I will start in 3, 2, 1. A very good morning to the honorable educators, members of the floor, and also my worthy opponents. I'm Brian, and I'm the third speaker of the opposition team. And we, as the opposition team, strongly disagrees with today's motion, which is cooking at home is better than dining out. And I'll be rebutting the points given by the government team. Okay. Before I move on to my rebuttals, I would just like to say again that we, as the opposition team, are not saying that cooking at home is bad. We are just saying that it could be equally as good. And we are not ignoring the benefits of cooking at home, but that is exactly what side government is doing. They are ignoring the benefits of dining out. Okay, now moving on to the rebuttals. They rebutted our point by saying that we can also cook good stuff at home, and we can it doesn't necessarily have to be that we cook bad stuff. And the same goes for dining out. You don't have to choose unhealthy foods. There are lots of options like economy rice and etc. And they have been stating the whole time about a product called MSG and how it affects our body, and like they are just claiming it. How sure are you that the foods that we buy outside have this product? And some restaurants are actually also have stated that they are not using any MSG. Okay, now moving on to the rebuttals. They said that cooking at home is cheaper. And according to BangkokPost.com, whether cooking at home is cheaper or not depends on many factors. What you are making, how many people you are preparing for, and how often you cook. You have to plan in advance the dishes, servings, and ingredients, and then go to the market to buy them. The same goes for dining out. It depends on what you're buying, and it ultimately depends on the choice of the person, whether you are willing to eat health, to choose the price of your food and the type of foods. And they also said that it can be healthier to cook at home. And also, yes, cooking at home can be nutritious, but it doesn't have a definite side that like, oh, cooking at home is definitely more nutritious, because as what we have said, cooking at home, you can cook like maybe make yourself a burger or something which has also like high calories, and this is also ultimately on the choice of the person. But at home it is also the same. You can cook more than you can eat, so ultimately it also generates food waste. So there's not a definite side on which is better. And now I'll be restating my team's point. Our team's first speaker has given the point about convenience. Not everyone has the ability to cook, so it can really be convenient for some people to just dine out. And our second speaker has stated the point of which stimulates the economy. It contributes to the economy, and it also gives people more job opportunities. And at last, we have already proven that dining out can be equally as good as cooking at home. We have proven that it can be equally as convenient, cheap, and it also contributes to the economy. So this is why we, side opposition, should win this debate. And with that, I would like to urge the members of the floor to sway with us. Thank you.
All right. Thank you really much, speaker number 3. Next, before I announce the winner, Each team must give up to 90 seconds of feedback and advise the other team. You may divide this time however you would like between you and your team members. To score well, of course, you must be cautious, constructive, and kind. Do not use this time to keep arguing the motion, as that will not provide you with any extra mark. Instead, focus on how your opponent could be a better debater. You have 90 seconds to plan your feedback, and I am not allowed to give any feedback on my own. This 90 seconds preparation will start now. All right, time is up. It's time for the peer feedback session. Please unmute yourself and speak from your seat, of course. Negative team, you may go first.
So hi again, everyone. So this is a brief feedback to side affirmative. So what we really like about you guys is that the structure of the whole script is very nice. It's very nicely structured. What we do hope to see is that maybe next time you can look at the topic from more perspective, so that you could provide people from people with more points of view. And then because this time all of your points are around one thing, which is health. You did mention a little bit of it would cause waste, but maybe you could further elaborate more so that it would be nicer. It seems nicer. It seems like you have more point like that. Other than that, you guys are really fluent. Really, the whole speech was really well delivered. One thing we do hope is that next time, instead of saying monosodium glutamate, please say MSG. We literally have to Google it. What is monosodium glutamate? So yeah, because don't expect everyone to know what is monosodium glutamate. So next time, please do get the terms that people can understand easily. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Is there anyone else from the negative team would like to provide any feedbacks?
That's it.
All right. Okay. Thank you. Now, for the affirmative team, you may provide your feedbacks to the negative team.
You guys are really good, and your points are really strong. And actually, I'm very nervous when I talk, and it's my first time, so I think that you guys are really good. And every point you give is like bang, 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 like that. It's everything very good. The first and second, third speaker is very good, and I like the third speaker because the third speaker gives the rebuttals quite strong, and it helps us to like what are we gonna answer, because his point is really strong, his rebuttal is strong. Yes, he's really good, and everyone is good, so thank you.
Anyone else from the affirmative team would like to provide any feedbacks?
That's all.
All right. Okay. Thank you very much. And with that, it is time to announce the winner. There is no drum roll, so there is no atmosphere to make this more intense. So I'm just gonna announce the winner then. The winning team will be the negative team. Now, please, everybody, turn on your camera and congratulate one another. Give them a high five and give them a big applause. All right, thank you really much. With that, the session has ended and you all are free to leave now. Thank you really much.
Thank you.